What's up, guys? It's the Game Bro coming back to you. We got another F1 review, the Monaco Grand Prix, the long delayed, drawn out 15 lap or so shorter Monaco Grand Prix just ended with Sergio Perez taking a pretty popular win. Not by me. Ferrari strategy fucked it pretty hard on this one, costing Charles a shot at the win. And clearly we haven't learned anything from Spa last year about how to get a race started, or why do we have different race directors, or, what the hell was that? For almost an hour it took to get that race fired up. We didn't get a standing start. We had to get a rolling start, so you didn't get to see any good action. Schumacher's crash caused another red flag, and it was dry enough to do a standing start there. We didn't get it, so just glad he's okay. Surprised to see that car come apart with maybe not the hardest impact, but I guess after Grosjean's crash, the new rules kind of make it so all the energy gets dissipated that way. Either way, whole weekend, Ferrari looked to be on top of everything, even into the start of the race, well into the race. Leclerc, rocket, man. So with Monaco, you kind of know you're going to get a shit race, but the best qualifying session of the year, Q3, Monaco, go for broke. Just to see these cars on edge, it doesn't matter if they're a little slower this year, just to see them ripping so hard through, I hate Monaco to drive it in the sim, I can't stand it. And these guys just make it look so effortlessly to get millimeters away from the barriers, and just, it's crazy. This is the most on edge you'll ever see the cars, just crazy. So qualifying was awesome to watch. Sucks that we didn't get to see Charles' final lap, because man, that was, like a Senna lap of the gods type thing there. He was going purple again, and it just, you're almost happy to see a red flag. He might have stuffed it like he did by the swimming pool last year. But Perez crashed in qualifying. Who would go on to win the race? Awesome for him. Third victory, most successful Mexican F1 driver. Watching the last couple laps, man, those four cars blanketed probably by 4 seconds was just awesome. It sucks that Carlos couldn't get close enough to make a lunge. I guess the offline was still a little damp. If he tried to go for it, probably would have locked up, maybe taken them both out, handed Max the win. That was one thing you were worried, if Max could get around Carlos, are they going to move, Sergio behind him for points? But fortunately, we didn't see that. And we got to see a great Monaco race for the first time in a while. There was, during that middle phase of the race, we saw Pierre go on to the intermediates, run people down, and, even try to make some passes. So it was just cool to watch that crossover period. And this is where Red Bull just nailed the strategy of getting their guys in and double stacked the Red Bulls. And they came out in front of both Ferraris, kind of one of each there, jumped it. Carlos called it perfect, go right to slicks. I really don't understand why Charles didn't do the same. And then they double stacked him. He lost time on the pit stop and then just couldn't do anything, stuck in fourth pretty much the whole race. So, Hamilton, the big thing too was also Alonso just backing up the entire field from seventh on back, just killing Hamilton, and then decides to just take off after he, lost 30 seconds to Norris, who... So, Norris pitted for tires. He had a free pit stop, got fastest lap, but he ran down George Russell at the end. I think he was only, a second back. That was crazy to see in a few minutes, him just totally blitz up to the back of Russell, who finished fifth. Mercedes, you would really expect them to struggle more. I was expecting them to be worse. You watched their car in qualifying. That car looked like it was a bear to wrestle that thing around the track. They were really struggling low speed wise, and you kind of figured that. So probably the best they could have done, but awesome for Norris. Ricciardo struggled all weekend. The stuff going on with him and Zach Brown about that, not really looking good for their future. Bottas finished ninth. Vettel with the Ocon penalty got into the points, and that was quite the duel, man. Watching Hamilton try to get around Ocon and drove into him once, got squeezed, got some damage. Fortunately, that red flag let him put a new wing on the car when you didn't even realize the other Haas and Magnussen was out. They showed him walking back, disgusted, and it's like, Schumacher just crashed. We didn't even know he retired. Guan Yu Zhou probably had the save of the race going down out of the tunnel and almost, wrecked it, but what a save from him. Latifi crashing on the warm-up. And again, I just want to say, how much of, what the hell was that, that hour? You had Crofty and Brundle pretty much ripping the race director to shreds about how to run a race. It's what are you doing? What are you doing? I guess there was some power loss, but still, no clue. We could have got that race going, could have had a standing start in the wet. Imagine how crazy that would have been to start, on full wets like that, going into the first turn, going down in the casino. Damn, that would have been cool. But either way, I'm fucking disappointed. That's just sucked for Ferrari, how I am. And you know, Red Bull came out of a place where they weren't expected to be the better car. Like, they weren't expected to be good in the low-speed corners compared to Ferrari. Just looked so composed versus the Red Bull, you know, losing the back end a lot out of a lot of the corners. So, advantage Red Bull. And going into next week, Baku, or the next race in Baku in a couple of weeks in Azerbaijan, like, that's going to be a Red Bull track, you would think, even though Leclerc put it on pole last time out there. But did Ferrari have something with their sleeve? Can maybe they strike back at a Red Bull track? You hope so, because, you know, Max stretched it out another 3 points today for the championship, and the constructors widened out a bit too. Someone just drove by. That made it nice and loud. Either way, all you could ask for in a Monaco Grand Prix, I guess. That's what you got to look at here. It gave you everything you normally didn't have. I guess the waiting was worth it. And then, you know, we got shorted a couple laps, but big deal. We got to see a type of Senna Mansell type race, as you heard in the broadcast. Either way, still going to be a close battle going through the rest of the year. The cost cap is becoming more evident to be a problem as teams bring updates or don't bring updates. It's kind of, and God, if we get more accidents and stuff, God knows what Haas is going to be up against for the rest of the year. So either way, guys, thanks for listening. Hope you like the race. Hope you like this review. I've been the Game Bro. Have a great week, and I'll see you after Azerbaijan. Later.